By the time he was 8 years old, he had lost 5 siblings. At 9, he was left for dead, only to awaken from a coma paralyzed. But he recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of body and mind. Bradley Quick is here to share with you his path from Skid Row junkie to successful talk show host, author, mentor, and motivational speaker. If you're looking for a better tomorrow, if you want a positive evolution, or if you're in need of a quick fix, you're in the right place. Now kick back and get ready for the top experts in the field of body, mind, and soul. Here on the Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quick Fix here on Cool Change Radio, your home for positive answers and the place for you to find that life and health solution you've been looking for. We're right here right now to inform you to the latest life enhancement techniques in many different areas, including health, fitness, nutrition, psychology, finance, weight loss, and a whole variety of other wonderful and life-empowering topics. Today's show is brought to you by the Cool Change Foundation. If you're fond of our show, if we brought you some breakthrough solutions, or you just want to help us stay on the air, please donate today. Come on, think about it. When we make life better for mom and dad, we make life better for the children. When we make life better for the children, we make life better for the entire family. Everybody wins. And it's 100% tax deductible. No donations ever too small. You can donate right now at www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. And remember, it's time for Cool Change with the Cool Change Foundation. Hey, welcome everyone. My name is Bradley Quick. I'm here as always to discuss solutions with you. I'm here to talk about having a better life experience and becoming the best you that you can be. Our guest today, once again, is Dr. Rick Morris. He says why the spine is important to the health of your entire body and overall wellness. Hey, Doc, you ready for a great show?
Yes, I am.
Good. You sit tight. We'll be right with you. Fair enough?
It's a deal.
That's a deal. Thank you all for joining us on CoolChangeRadio.com, BradleyQuick.com, and on Facebook. As you know, you can catch our live and recorded video shows and interviews on those sites and many other websites. And as always, you can listen to our archived audio interviews, hundreds of them. Your favorite topics, favorite experts, and favorite personalities at BradleyQuick.com. So if you're not hanging out on CoolChangeRadio.com, BradleyQuick.com is the place to be. If you ever find yourself surfing on that thing called YouTube, we can find us there too on Cool Change Radio. That's our channel on YouTube. Cool Change Radio on YouTube. We get all the latest information, latest shows, latest updates. And I think we got over 520,000 views in the last 110 or 120 days. I am so grateful to you. Go there, sign up, subscribe to it, and we'll hit you up with your favorite shows. All right, later, my buddy Paul Medrano, former Mr. Universe, will be talking with us about healthy living and a Getting Fit with Mr. Universe segment. And that's going to happen shortly, so stay right where you are. Now, make a note. If you'd like to chime in with a question for my guest today, just pick up that phone, dial 818-824-9123. That's 818-824-9123. Write it down. Stick it next to the phone. It's the number for all the shows here on Cool Change Radio, 818-824-9123. Okay, as a postgraduate certification in sports medicine, disability evaluation, accident reconstruction, and anti-aging medicine, director of the Morris Spinal Stenosis and Disc Center in Santa Monica, California. Joining us now on the Quick Fix here on the Cool Change Radio and TV Network is Dr. Rick Morris. Doctor, welcome back.
Thank you.
So good to have you.
I'm glad I'm here.
What have you been up to lately? You were on the show, what, a month ago, 2 months ago?
2-3 months ago.
Yeah. How have you been since then? What's been going on?
I've been doing well. Actually, there's something that's exciting that just happened today.
Please tell me more.
All right. I write research. We do research out of our office. We did research on spinal cord encroachment. Right. That means most of the time when patients have a condition where the spinal canal gets small and actually contacts the spinal cord in the neck, usually they're sent out for surgery where they actually cut open the back of the spine to give extra room, and then they fuse the segments together. And it's not an easy surgery. There are some definite risks to it. Scar tissue usually forms where the scar tissue can actually squeeze the spinal cord itself.
Right.
So there's a risk to it.
There's only so much room in between those vertebrae.
There's only so much room between the vertebra, and it protects the spinal cord. So when you actually have a disc or something bulging into it,
inflammation of any kind,
inflammation, misalignment, whatever, something's going, arthritis going into it.
It pinches, huh?
It pinches, and it can paralyze you even. That's how far it can go.
Absolutely.
So we developed a protocol years ago where we take a group of these people that we think we can help without surgery, and we do this through stretching, exercise, aligning the spine, cervical
Is
decompression.
that aligning the spine through chiropractic?
Through chiropractic. The techniques is not typical chiropractic technique.
Right.
But it's
applied kinesiology or something?
Well, it's not applied kinesiology. It is specifically what you have to do is you have to find each segment of the spine that may be slightly away from alignment, slowly, gradually put that back together. Then you have to find any segment of the spine that's not moving properly, gradually, individually get those to start moving. It's a very precise thing. There aren't many people doing it.
Right. Do you have to have the whole back cut open while you do this?
No. This is done totally non-surgically.
I just want to make sure.
Well, we've been doing it for a while now. And anyways, I got together with two other world-famous researchers who do research all the time.
As world-famous as yourself.
Well, no, they're far more famous than I am in
Really?
research.
Wow.
They're not as clinicians. They don't have clinics like I do where they're treating people. But as far as in the world of research, they're very well known, far better than I am in that area. And anyways, I just got the study back, and we're going to be presenting at an international research conference. So I want this information out there because people are getting surgery that probably don't need it. And anyways, I just got that this morning, so I was really excited about it.
What's new?
That isn't new.
Yeah, it is new. I mean, not new at all. Not new at all. The people have been getting surgery they didn't need for a long time for the sake of the green dollar.
Well, yes, the green dollar has a big part to do with it, but it also has to do with people's biases. So you have to understand, if you went to medical school and they taught you that if this nerve is being pinched or the spinal cord is being pinched by a disc or something else.
I totally understand what you're saying.
They say, cut it out.
You go to 8 years to learn how to cut people up and prescribe medicine.
And they believe they're doing the right thing, and that's what they've learned. Now, I came from a chiropractic background, so obviously the first thing I'm thinking of is how can I mechanically alter this? Because there's some way I can do this without surgery. That's my bias. If you can do this safely and do it non-surgically, you should. Most chiropractors never tried this. Myself and some other people have. We now have followed these people for a number of years, and we have very good results without a single injury. Without a single injury, when we stop these people from needing surgery. If we can get this information out to the world a little bit more, then fewer people would have surgeries that they don't need. Fewer people would be injured by the surgeries. And so anyways, that's why I just got a copy of that study this morning, so I'm really excited about it.
You sound excited about it.
I am.
That's good. And so you and your team or your clinics are going to take advantage of this?
Well, my clinic in Santa Monica has done this for a number of years. There's another clinic in a medical school in Rhode Island doing the same thing, and they've been doing it for a number of years. So what we did this time is we pooled our data together to form a larger study. It's going to be presented next year, and we'll hopefully have this paper published next year as well, which will be a larger study.
What is the incidence of back pain? Why is there so much back pain? Is it emotional? Is it the body stuffing certain feelings and emotions or reactions in certain parts of the body? What is it? I mean, it's obvious if somebody gets in an accident, or it's obvious if something.
Well, two questions. You said two questions. What's the incidence? The incidence is 80% of us at some time of our life will be disabled and have to miss work due to our backs. Right. That's how common it is.
Okay.
At any one given time, 20 to 30% of us have our backs that are hurting us of some degree or another. We know it is one of the leading causes of disability in the country. So it's very, very prevalent. Next question, why? Why is this occurring? That's a $1 million question because there are several reasons. Are there emotional reasons? Sure. If you would talk to somebody who wrote a book like Sarno that everything's emotional, they think it's all emotional, and that's not true. If you went to a person who believed that all you have to do is just train and strengthen yourself and do these exercises where you bring your knees to your chest, or everybody's got their favorite reason. If you're really going to be honest about it, you have to look at each person individually and say, why do they have it? Some people are going to have the problem, possibly, genetically. What we've found out is the incidence of having a disc herniation is maybe 2% of the population. Yet, if you have a disc herniation, then there's a 40% chance that someone else, your first person in your immediate family, 40% chance that they also have a disc herniation. So now that leads us to believe that there's a hereditary piece to it, that maybe the material forming the disc runs different in different families.
Right.
There's another possibility. Structurally, let's say you're born with a malformation in your back. There's a better chance your family has a malformation in their back.
Right. It's turned, what do they call it, the bent spine or whatever?
Scoliosis. But there are for example, most doctors do not pay, especially medical doctors, but doctors in general, do not pay enough attention to congenital, things you're born with, structural problems. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you literally have one leg that's a different length than the other. And could you imagine if you're walking around at a tilt, how fast that your disc would wear?
Oh, how much stress it'll put on the
Puts a tremendous stress. Could you imagine your car being out of alignment that? That would happen. How about if one of the segments of your spine, when they fuse together as a baby, part of your tailbone, the bones fuse, what if one of the segments fuse a little crooked? These things can and do happen. And if I'm going to tell you, most doctors do not pay attention to this. They will pay attention. They'll cut out the disc. They'll treat the disc. Yeah, but they never really looked a step further and say, why did it go?
Yeah, they just say, here's the problem. Here's how we fix it.
Our center is completely different than that. But that's why we're doing research and we're trying to get this information out. It's not taught well enough in the schools at all. And so therefore what everyone's left with is just treating the symptom of it. So is it emotional? Yes, it can be emotional. Can it be structure that you're born with? Can it be genetic and the protein you're formed with? We also know a few other things. We know if you have a long, thin waist, there's a better chance you're going to have a disc herniation or back problem.
I know you're talking about my waist, right?
I was looking at you. That's what made me think of it.
I believe you for a second.
That's exactly what made me think of it.
I want to hear more about that when we come back. Okay?
All right.
You're so funny. You are so funny. Stay put, everybody. Have you got a habit you want to change? How would you do things differently to better your life experience if you could? Well, hey, sit tight. We just might have some answers for you. I'm here with Dr. Rick Morris. He has a postgraduate certificate in sports medicine, disability evaluation, accident, reconstruction, and anti-aging medicine. He's got the Morris Spinal Stenosis and Disc Center in Santa Monica, California. He's here to help you. This is the Quick Fix on Cool Change Radio, broadcasting live from Freddie Siegel Studios. We'll be right back.
Today, experience The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change. Written by Bradley Quick, author, producer, motivational speaker, and host of the award-winning radio talk show, The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick on CoolChangeRadio.com. Bradley's passion for life is evident in his book, written so you can experience health, find your purpose, and have more effective relationships. Beating insurmountable odds, overcoming death, and being paralyzed, Bradley fought his way back so he could help you conquer your struggles. Experience increased health, vitality, passion, and purpose in your life right now with The Quick Fix, and read about Bradley's courage, ambition, and determination to live. Whether the issue is your thoughts, your physical body, or you just want to feel better and be happy, The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change, will change your life. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Take positive action now and receive a free guided meditation CD with your order. That's a $20 value free with your order today. Go to BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. Take control and begin feeling better now. Get the book and free CD now at BradleyQuick.com.
You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
This has never been attempted before by any treatment center, ever. Seasons Malibu is willing to take the risk because they understand quality care and evidence-based long-term recovery. Pay for only 3 months of treatment and stay until you are better, period. I'll say that one more time. Pay for only 3 months of treatment and stay until you are better. Enough is enough. Seasons Malibu wants to count your days of recovery, not the dollars in your pocket. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just straightforward world-class treatment until you are better. Do not hesitate. Call now. Seasons Malibu, 866-780-8539, 866-780-8539. That's Seasons Malibu at www.seasonsmalibu.com or 866-780-8539. 866-780-8539 for a free consultation and details. 866-780-8539. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to The Quick Fix here on Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place for positive change. I'm Bradley Quick, and we're right here right now to help you gain the upper hand in becoming all that you want to be. This segment is brought to you by my buddies at GapZip.com, GAPZIP.com. Easy for you to say. They ask, how do you think? They say, how you think is more important than what you think. It's one of the chief reasons why many of us get stuck when you try and take the next step in your career or personal relationships. You can join them every second and fourth Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Right, just go to GapZip, sign up, and they'll teach you how to think, okay? GAPZIP.com. All right, learn a new way to think. For those of you just joining us on Cool Change Radio, Facebook, and BradleyQuick.com, welcome. You can listen to this show again and hundreds of hours of other self-discovery content anytime you want by simply going to bradleyquick.com. There you can also sign up for our weekly radio show email reminder, where once a week you receive the most recent interviews in the comfort of your own home or office. Then you can make sure not to miss your favorite authors, experts, or personalities, and you listen to them at your convenience. You can also podcast any of our shows or just listen to us anytime from anywhere at, this is the website, so I'm going to go www. Got that as a website, www.bradleyquick.com. That's bradleyquick.com. All right. So our guest today is Dr. Rick Morris. His expertise is in the spine, which led to an associate professorship at Cleveland Chiropractic College in Los Angeles, national lecturing in the field of joint disorders, and a publication called Peer Review Journals. Doctor, welcome back.
Thank you.
What were we talking about there?
Well, you asked me what causes back problems, and we started discussing, is it psychological, is it physical, and that's the fun part about my job, is I have to
or is it emotional?
Or emotional.
Right.
And I think what you have to be, for my job, I treat severe disorders, so they've had some for a long time for me to see them. That means I have to be sort of a detective. I do. So I'm going to listen. So let's talk about emotional. Okay. How might I detect that there's an emotional component to it? Doesn't mean it's the whole thing, but there's certain signs of it. One of the signs will be when I'm asking, I'll say, tell me what's going on. You'll be a patient. I'll have you telling me things. And you'll tell me how terrible a shoulder will be and explaining our shoulder, your neck, or whatever the whole thing's going to be. And then I start asking you specifics about that area. What caused it, 0 to 10, how much does it hurt, what does it limit you from? And then you'll go to another area. You don't really want to get into a sign will be you don't even want to get into the details of it. If your shoulder mechanically was more the issue, you would say, it's specifically when I do this, I've had it from here, this is what irritates it, this is how it's limited me. One of the signs is they don't frequently that person won't want to stay in the details, they just want to tell me how much they're hurting. Another response that'll be is if when a patient fills out their chart and they say, I'm in a 0 to 10, how bad it is. They'll put down a 12 or something. Okay.
Right.
I go out to the waiting room to bring them back, and I watch them get out of the chair. And they pop out of the chair, and they walk, and they pop back into my chair. And one of the chairs that I'll have even in my office is sort of low, and they'll plop back into it. Obviously, their 12 is not real. These are all things that are going to just give me clues that maybe something else is going on. A lot of times when I'm asking specific mechanical problems with an area, they're going to start telling me how nobody listened to them, nobody took them seriously, and that becomes a bigger story. Or they want to keep telling me how all these other doctors and everybody...
So they will answer all the questions without really even acknowledging that they're being asked a question. They're just by being who they are, their motor skills, etc.
They're telling me what they need to tell me. What they need to tell me is, I need you to pay attention to me. I'm not being heard enough. I have a serious problem. No one's paying attention to it. Now, a doctor has to be really careful. It's really easiest for us to say, I don't have to work very hard at figuring out what's wrong with you because it's all in your head. That's very easy for a doctor to do, and it's usually wrong. It is common, if you've had chronic severe pain for a long time, it's going to change your emotionality. It may make you cry right in there. It may make you exaggerate what those symptoms are. It may make you minimize the symptoms. It's going to, when I ask them, how does it affect your life, they're going to look up, their eyes are going to go, and they're going to be extremely sad how it affected their whole life. There's an emotional tie-in. They may be afraid when I do the exam to even bend or turn, even though they could, and I can get them to do it, they won't do anything because they're so scared about it because now it's ruining their life, their ability to make a living, their ability to raise their family, to have the person stay home who's going to love them. These are all real things that you have to treat both sometimes, their fear, the emotionality, and the structural problem. It's not usually just one anymore if it's chronic.
Really?
Yeah.
And so how much of this is caused by herniation of discs rather than the misplacement of a disc, it not being aligned properly?
Well, a disc herniation means it's bulging.
Right.
And
that's not that is the nerve bulging in between the vertebrae, right?
Well, the disc bulges between the vertebrae and squeezes into the nerve.
Really?
That's usually what pushes into it.
Is that what happens?
But let me give you the symptoms of a disc herniation.
Okay.
If you have a really weak disc where it's not able to hold your body weight, a few characteristic things that tell me about it.
I just heard that you better stay skinny, not fat. Right?
Well, you don't want to get too heavy. It doesn't help it. But you don't want to be too thin and long. That doesn't help it either. Couple characteristic symptoms. I asked a person, does it hurt to cough or sneeze? If you ask them, does it hurt to cough or sneeze, and all of a sudden they grip and they hold on, and they go, ugh, that's terrible, that's characteristic of a disc. When you have a disc that's really weak and incompetent, if you cough and sneeze, it causes it to bulge from the inside. And if your disc is not strong enough to hold it, they'll give me that look. If you have a disc that's herniating and it's getting next to a nerve, it isn't a 4 or 5 out of pain, a 10 out of pain. It is a 9 or 10. So when people say it feels like a knife is stabbing into me and I move it and they grip and they can barely move, that's usually a disc. That's not a muscle. That's not a ligament.
I got to
that's
tell
a
you,
disc.
I sneezed the other day, sitting right here at the petting my cat, drinking a cup of coffee, and I sneezed right here and blew out my oblique on the left side.
Your oblique muscles?
Yeah.
Well, then that should hurt you in the oblique muscles.
Oh, it was so big, it was so just like you're describing. I lost my breath and thought I was going to pass out right
well,
there.
that brings a good point. If someone coughs and sneezes and they have a broken rib or they've torn a muscle, they're going to grab that area. But if they go and they grab their low back when they cough or sneeze, and especially if it shoots down a leg, or they grab their neck and it shoots down their arm, that's usually a disc because it increases the pressure within the disc when you do it. It's like a pressure test.
Isn't that a sciatic nerve?
The sciatic nerve is the nerve that goes from your low back down your leg. Yes. And one of the things that presses the sciatic nerve can be the disc. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the things that can do it.
It's really common, though, isn't it?
Sciatica is really common. So, and the characteristics of sciatica is when you have pain that's going down your buttocks, going down your hamstring, the back of your thigh. It can go all the way down to your foot and to your feet. It can be sharp. It can be achy. It can do all those. Those are the sciatic nerves.
Wow. Bummer.
It's terrible.
No, I had back surgery once because I had a messed up back after a car accident.
Right.
I was on a cane for 2 years.
Right.
I know exactly what that is. I cringe when I hear that, you know.
And same thing with me. I know I told you the story last time I was here. I was a doctor, did sports medicine for a lot of years. I worked as a doctor for the U.S. Olympic team. I worked as a doctor for UCLA, Cal State Northridge. That's what I did. And I did the Ironman in Hawaii, and I trained for the Olympic trials and
Didn't
marathon.
you do the Ironman twice?
No, just once.
Okay.
Thank you. And not very well, but I did it. But anyway,
at least you showed up.
Yeah, I showed up, and I finished. But what happened was I eventually herniated 3 discs and tore 2 discs. So I've lived through this, and I was disabled for about 12 years.
Wow.
So that's why my whole practice now is completely about severe spine disorders, disc disorders, spinal stenosis, because I've had all that, and that's what my research is on. That's all my clinic is about right now.
Really? And what's the address of your clinic?
It's 1243 7th Street in Santa Monica.
1243 7th Street
in Santa Monica. So it's
California.
near Santa Monica and Wilshire.
Yeah.
And actually, if they want to get in touch with me, the website, and they can read all about spinal stenosis, disc disease, sciatica, these things, just type in spinal stenosis and disc.com. Spinal stenosis and disc. ANDDISC.com. And that will...
Can they call you too at 310-451-5851?
Thank you for the plug. Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
310-451-5851. Why don't you repeat that number just to make sure I got it straight?
310-451-5851.
I got it.
You got it.
That was really good.
And it's specifically for those people, if you've already gone through chiropractic, physical therapy, surgery, etc., our places for the people that it hasn't worked with. And that's exactly what we treat. We treat the most severe spinal cases.
So it may be worth someone's time and effort, and certainly the pain or elimination of the pain, to go to you first.
Absolutely. But again, if it is minor, and again, I'm not trying to
minimize anything.
If you just woke up and you strained your neck or did something, you can see your chiropractor or physical therapist. Right. That's not what our clinic's for. It's really for people like me or like you. They've had something for 6 months. It's not going away. They've had it for years. It's not going away. They've gone through injections. They've gone through physical therapy. They've gone through epidurals. That's who I want to see. I developed a protocol. Our clinic developed a protocol for people we call the failed disc syndrome.
A failed
disc syndrome. These are the discs that don't heal. Do you realize that most of us actually do develop little tears in our discs, just like we do anywhere in our body, in our skin, and they usually heal. There's a small group of us that the discs don't heal. You go through all the typical things that you're doing, it's not going to heal. And there's a reason for it. And that's what we do. There's usually a circulatory reason where the blood's not getting to it, and there's a structural reason why it's happening. And that is what we do. We just see those patients who they're not healing, and we develop a protocol, if at all possible, that will get those discs to heal again. And that's what we do.
Tell me this. when I was going through these back problems, right, and was on the cane, I came up, they diagnosed me with 2 degenerative discs in my neck.
Right.
And they said, your discs are dissipating, they're leaving, they'll never come back. You need surgery. We need to fuse your vertebrae together, whatever, And I said, no, I don't think so.
Right.
And it's oddly enough, they're not degenerating anymore.
Well, my one term I hate is degenerative joint disease or degenerative disc disease. I have patients almost every day, probably every week anyways, who come into my office. Said my doctor said.
Will you tell us more about that when we come back?
Yes, I promise.
I want to hear that because I really want to hear that because that's all about me.
It is.
Okay, this segment has been brought to you by the guys at GapZip.com, GAPZIP.com. Put the cap on that. They say thoughts are things. Thoughts lead to actions, which lead to results. So if you're sick and tired of your results, take a look at your thinking. Join them every second and fourth Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific at GapZip.com. Learn a new way to think. GAPZIP.com. This is Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place to shape your vision of what's possible. I'm Bradley Quick. Be right back.
There are self-help seminars costing thousands of dollars guaranteeing miraculous transformations. There are compelling speakers and life-changing weekend experiences where you can walk on fire. They all deliver revelations that guarantee you'll come back for the more expensive revelations filled with even greater wonder next month on Fiji. We get addicted to positive, heartfelt, expensive theater. What we really need is a jumpstart, an awakening, someone who can give us a reminder that everything we need lies within. Through inspiration and practical knowledge, Dorothy Donahue helps people get grounded and motivated, inspired and energized. It's not just words and affirmations and the power of intention. It's a mindset brought about by a tangible, transcendental experience, an audio-visual, physical, spiritual experience that helps us realize we transform ourselves. We get tools to become the conscious co-creators of lives of unlimited potential. Find out more. Go to DorothyDonahue.com. You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
I'm Melody Beattie, author of Codependent No More. 7 times more Americans have hepatitis C than AIDS. I'm one of them. If you're one of the millions of Americans with hepatitis C and your doctors are treating you with interferon, then you're clearly aware of how your life has been turned horribly upside down. Backed by huge pharmaceutical monies, the medical community swears there's only one dangerous, disabling way to battle this silent killer. It's not true. There are alternatives, and they work. Triumph Over Hepatitis C is a book written by best-selling author Lloyd Wright, who fully recovered from this frightening disease. Lloyd is helping others to take charge of their lives and fight for their body's freedom from this crippling illness. His program is working for me. Call the people at Hepatitis C Free now at 866-HEP-C-FREE. That's 866-HEP-C-FREE. Don't become another medical statistic. Find out the truth about hepatitis C and get your life back.
Get your copy of Triumph Over Hepatitis C at Barnes & Noble and at hepatitiscfree.com. Call 866-HEP-C-FREE.
All righty. Welcome back. This is Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place to find your passion and purpose. I'm Bradley Quick, and we're right here right now to provide you with solutions to the issues in your life. October 11th to the 15th, I'm going to be in Teotihuacan, Mexico. That's right. Fly into Mexico City, take they sit in the van for you, the air-conditioned bus, and go right up to an elevation of about 7,000 feet. And you stay at the Dreaming House at the base of the Toltec Pyramids. And what we do is we take a 5-day journey through our own lives, through the portals of our own lives. And we do that utilizing the energies of the pyramids and the Toltec wisdom. It's fantastic. I've seen people astroplane, and I've almost done it myself, except my fear wouldn't let me go. Every time I wanted to go, my fear would pull me back. It was really quite upsetting. But now I've been four times. This will be my 4th time consecutive. It's a great thing to do. You find out all about yourself, and it changed my life. Definitely changed my life, and my demeanor, and my ego, and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you really want to go from the social matrix, social domestication, into the spiritual matrix, this would be the trip for you. It's spiritrecovery.com. That's www.spiritrecovery.com. Click on the journeys link and come and join us on the pyramids, okay? It's a great thing to do. You'll really be happy that you did. All right, in 1990, he severely injured his own back, forcing him to experience the field of orthopedics as a doctor and, more importantly, as a patient. The doctor was injured. Since his injury and his experience with many doctors, his practice will never ever be the same. He now understands the pain, how pain can devastate your life, and the importance of the doctor that takes the time and has the knowledge to free each individual of the pain and burden. Joining us once again, Dr. Rick Morris, chiropractor, orthopedics, back pain, extreme injuries, sports medicine, accident reconstruction, and anti-aging medicine. I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to. I'm going to ask you first, Doctor, to finish up the thought you were thinking.
All right, now I have to remember what my thought was at this point.
We were talking about how I had the degenerative discs in my neck.
Oh, right. Okay. There is a term we learned in school called degenerative disc disease or degenerative joint disease. I wish we got rid of the term disease. It's not a disease. There's no infectious.
It's dis-ease.
It's dis-ease. That would be better.
Right.
But what I think we have to understand is wear and tear. And then we have to, that's what degenerative joint disease or degenerative disc disease in the neck is. It means that the disc is drying up, it's thinning up, and you're getting these little arthritic changes. If we all live long enough, we will all have some of that.
Right.
So the real question is it happening excessively? Why is it happening? Is it giving you symptoms, and what can we do about it? Those are the proper questions. When patients come in with the title,
I've got a syringe, I can fix that.
No, there's no syringe for this.
I'm not a syringe, a scalpel.
You can't find a scalpel for it either. There are times you may have to, but it's very, very rare. More times than not, you're going to make somebody worse.
That's a typical response, though, right? We have a scalpel that's just going in.
And even worse than that, it scares people.
Yeah.
I have patients who quit moving, who quit living their life because they've told they have this disease. That's almost always the wrong approach.
Well, I know when they told me that, and the surgery was the only option, I just got depressed immediately. Really got depressed.
It is depressing to hear something like that. I wish that term was thrown out.
Yeah, to go through that and be disabled to that extent would just be ridiculous.
So throw out the word and say, okay, where do I have excessive aging of my spine? Then you ask yourself why, what you're doing that was causing it. And they say, doctor, what can you do for it? No, I don't want you cutting it out because what's going to happen, it'll degenerate faster. And that's true. Is there something we can do that's going to increase the mobility in that joint? If you can safely improve the movement in that joint, you start reversing some of these effects of aging. You get more circulation in your disc. It quits drying up and thinning. It quits herniating and tearing. But you have to learn, how do I safely get those joints to move? Physical therapy, yoga therapy, chiropractic, they're all things that work with that. If you have something that's serious, then you need to go to someone like me that's more specific. But typical things that work to increase the range of motion of degenerative joints, chiropractic, physical therapy, yoga. Those are the things that typically do it. If it's done, then you have to find the right person to do it with you.
Right, chiropractic, physical therapy, and yoga.
Right. Now, let me add one more thing here, too. You have to be careful the type of exercises that you do. The same exercise can hurt you,
right,
and it can help you.
It's not universal.
Right. I have actually made a website. On my website, I have about an 18-minute restorative yoga plan. It isn't for everybody. It's a very, very safe stretching program that I give to my patients once they get to a certain point that helps them safely learn how to do their range of motion, and it's very restorative. It helps bring circulation back to the disc very safely. If your viewers or listeners want to go there, they're welcome to. Again, they have to first, I'm not telling them that their spine's ready for it yet, but it's a very safe restorative program if they have a mild back problem. If it's more serious, they have to see their doctor first. That website I gave you, Spinal Stenosis and Disc.com, when they go to it, there's going to be a tab that says Dr. Morris's original articles. I've written a lot of articles. And then there'll be a search feature. Just put down video in there. And they just search for video, and then you'll see a back video that is about a 20-minute program that's a very safe restorative program. And if you want to know how do I just start doing some range of motion things, you might want to try that.
This is very safe.
It's very safe, but if anything hurts or anything when you're doing it hurts, stop it. This is actually really more for my patients. That's why I have it hidden in my file. So if you have a serious problem, then I need to see you first, or your doctor does. But if it's sort of mild and I want to know how do I safely start doing range of motion, this is a good place to start.
That's fantastic, and that's on your website.
It's on my website.
And they just, in the search bar, they put video.
Well, on my website, which they can even just type in my name, drrickmorris.com.
Right.
That'll take you there, too. And then on the right side, it'll say Original Articles. Click on Original Articles by Dr. Morris.
Then video.
And then it'll say a search feature and just put in video.
Who's is there somebody that's more, forget hereditary for a second, right? Let's just say none of us have had any back pain in our history, right?
Okay.
In
Our families have it.
history, right? Mm-hmm. Who's most likely to be affected by back pain?
If you're very heavy, you have a
right.
chance to do it. If you're very sedentary, if you exercise too much,
right?
If you sit too much, if you lift too much. So let's just say too much.
It's just too much.
I think too much. If we find, let's say genetically we're formed fine, and you do a certain amount of exercise, and you do a certain amount of walking, and you stretch on a regular basis that's not trying to be in a yoga class and look like the person next to you who's a lot more naturally flexible than you are, if you're not forcing yourself to get there. If you like walking and you do some running, but you're not training for marathons. If you sit periodically, but you don't sit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. I mean, those are the things that mess us up. The sitting puts excessive pressure on the disc. Lifting heavy weights does that. Going to a gym is wonderful. But when you're doing deep squats, when you're lifting to the point where you're going to failure, where you can't lift anymore, now we're giving ourselves. That's going to increase your rate of back problems.
I'm a middle-aged guy, but they told me a good friend.
I thought you were in your 20s.
A good friend of mine at the gym said, Bradley, in all seriousness, he said you should not be lifting more than 40 pounds in anything you're doing. He says you're not at an age now where you're trying to bulk. You're not trying to get big. You know.
Well, I'm going to disagree with that.
Okay.
Because it depends on your size. It depends how strong you are. If I go to the gym regularly, I can bench. If I bench press 40 pounds, I wouldn't feel it.
Right.
So it depends on what you're doing with it. I think a good, safe way to go, if you get a trainer and you're going to start training with weights, have someone who knows what they're doing. Make sure it's not some guy who's having you jerk and lift things. I see people in there, they have a tendency, especially being in their 20s and 30s, because they haven't had these problems. You might be better off if you is going with someone who's been doing it a little longer, who's maybe a little bit older. Not to say young people aren't brilliant at this. They can be.
Sure.
But there's also a chance they've never had this before. They don't know.
Right.
So you want someone who's going to take things slowly with you, show you how to do them properly. Don't go to complete failure. Maybe go to 70%, where you basically know you can lift another 30% more, but you don't. And you do a little bit more repetitions. And you make sure when you leave you feel good. And when you only have muscle soreness, you don't have joint and you don't have nerve soreness.
Right.
And that increases your bone density, increases your cardiovascular capacity, it increases your muscle tone. You could be 90 years old and still increase muscle tone. They've had a few studies now where they've taken 90-year-olds on canes and they brought them into a gym and started a strengthening program in a gym. And a number of them got off their canes and walking devices.
It's funny you say that. My buddy Paul Medrano, who has the next segment on the show here today, he has a client, 88 years old, came in on a walker.
Sure.
And now is not on that walker anymore.
I do too.
Yeah,
that's just something I
amazing.
regularly do.
Yeah.
And there are ways to help people with this. There are just many, many different ways. Depends on what's causing them to be on the walker.
So I know I used to go into the gym, just lift massive weights, big weights, throw them around and stuff. Now I just can't do that anymore.
Right. Yeah. And you shouldn't. And truthfully, when you were younger doing it, you shouldn't have done that either.
Yeah.
When I was doing the Ironman and training for the Olympic trials and running all the crazy mileage and stuff I was doing, I don't want to believe for a moment that was for my health. It wasn't. It was.
Did ego?
Yeah, it is. I had stuff I had to prove to myself, and it was fun.
I'm going to prove it, man.
Yeah, but I had to do those things, and eventually I did so much that it probably led to a lot of my problems.
Okay, in the last minute here, tell us how somebody can prevent back pain.
Well, sort of the stuff that we're talking about is, okay, I'll give you a couple of things specifically.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. This is going to sound strange. Have somebody look at your butt. I'm going to say that right there for a second. All right?
Excuse me, let me look at your butt.
Someone you feel close to. But let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
It is about 8% of the population have an anatomical leg length problem that will lead to serious back problems as they get into late 20s and 30s. And it's going to be missed. So if you have somebody stand up and you look at their buttocks and you find that the lines are not parallel, but instead that they're uneven, and then they bend over and their spine starts twisting, then have them get a standing x-ray and take a look. And if you have alignment that's off...
Dr. Rick Morris, you're so cool.
Anyways,
we'll have you back
There's
again.
another picture on that.
Yeah, well,
There's a whole long
no
story.
pictures
But
there.
that's going to help some people
Stay
who are
put,
going to get
everybody.
missed.
You're in the right place.
Thank
Cool
you.
Change Radio would like to welcome all our new talk shows. We got a bunch of them happening. Go to Cool Change Radio. Stay up with what's going on here. So what's going on here is good for you there. We're coming back with our Getting Fit in the Machinery segment. I'm Bradley Quick. You're listening to Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement here on your Solutions Radio Network. Be right back. Get quality goods for less from Bag City, serving all of Reno, Denver, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, and many more cities. Up to 70% below retail on everything. Coin purses, wallets, organizers, purses, briefcases, backpacks, travel and garment bags, and ladies' and men's leather jackets. All discounted, all up to 70% below retail. Bag City, the best for less? Bag City serving all of Reno, Denver, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, and many more cities. Contact Bag City at 818-990-1795. That's Bag City, quality goods for less money. Bag City, where 15% of all sales go to local charities. You can't beat that. You help local charities while getting quality goods at up to 70% below retail. Contact Bag City now at 818-990-1795. Contact Bag City today and get quality goods for less money. That's 818-990-1795. Shop Bag City to save. Shop Bag City for charity. Bag City, 818-990-1795.
You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
Today, experience The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change. Written by Bradley Quick, author, producer, motivational speaker, and host of the award-winning radio talk show, The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick on CoolChangeRadio.com. Bradley's passion for life is evident in his book, written so you can experience health, find your purpose, and have more effective relationships. Beating insurmountable odds, overcoming death, and being paralyzed, Bradley fought his way back so he could help you conquer your struggles. Experience increased health, vitality, passion, and purpose in your life right now with The Quick Fix, and read about Bradley's courage, ambition, and determination to live. Whether the issue is your thoughts, your physical body, or you just want to feel better and be happy, The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change, will change your life. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Take positive action now and receive a free guided meditation CD with your order. That's a $20 value free with your order today. Go to BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. Take control and begin feeling better now. Get the book and free CD now at BradleyQuick.com.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you all for joining us on Cool Change Radio, Facebook, and BradleyQuick.com. As you know, you can catch our live and video recorded shows on CoolChangeRadio.com and over 700 hours of my best audio interviews, your favorite topics and personalities at BradleyQuick.com. And we're also on YouTube at Cool Change Radio on YouTube. You're listening to Cool Change Radio, broadcasting live from Freddie Siegel Studios. We're your home for self-improvement and a place for positive change. I want you to know we're being supported in large part by one of my favorite charities, the Cool Change Foundation. The foundation was created to help families and all the children in those families. They do that by providing positive transformational life enhancement methods and techniques to those children's caretakers, usually moms and dads, so they may overcome negative habits and become better role models and providers for the kids. And as a direct result, the children's home and family life becomes more nurturing and loving. It does every time. It's so good to watch a child get his life back, his future back, his destiny back, his good feeling back, his health back. It's wonderful. So you can help the foundation, help the mom, dads, and kids in your community, and you can do that right now. Send a donation of love and support directly to the foundation at www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Once there, simply click on the support us link at the top of the page. You'll be helping us help the kids. Again, that's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Click on the support us link and help us today. Every penny counts. No donation's ever too small. And the children need your help. From all of us here at Cool Change Radio, we thank you for your support. Now, here's my buddy Paul Medrano. He really is a smart guy. He's a former Miss Universe 1999. He's a fitness trainer, a success in business, and a success in health. And he's a success in taking good care of yourself. So here we go with Paul. Here.